Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to review for a bit. We had our assessment on equations of line last class, and today we're going to add in some new information on what we call standard form. So equations can be written in three ways. The new way that we're going to learn about today is called standard form, and that's in the form of ax plus by is equal to c. Okay, we've already done slope-intercept form. This should be familiar. Y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And then last unit we also covered point-slope form, where y minus y of 1 is equal to m times x minus x of 1. Okay, so how this new standard form works, I'm going to take a typical equation. Let's say y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 3. And I want to put it into standard form. The thing about standard form is your a and your b and your c, they all have to be integers, so you cannot have any fractions. And also, the leading coefficient, which is the a, this is the leading coefficient, cannot be negative, okay? So leading coefficient has to be greater than 0. Okay, actually greater than or equal to 1 would be more like it, okay, because it's got to be a whole number. Okay, so leading coefficient is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so watch what we're going to do here. So to get it into standard form, I'm going to take this in slope-intercept form, and I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. Okay, I'm just following the golden rule of algebra. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I do to the other. I end up with 1/2 x plus y is now equal to just 3. Okay, so I need to get rid of the fraction. So to get rid of the fraction, I'm going to take 1/2 and I'm going to multiply it by 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2, and I'm going to show it by putting brackets. Okay, when I multiply both sides, it's 2 times 1/2 x plus y is equal to 3 times 2. So again, you have to do both sides. 2 times 1/2 is 1, so we're left with x plus 2y is equal to 6. Okay, so now we've got it in standard form. Okay, let me give you another example. All right, so if I gave you another example, say I said y is equal to 3/4 x plus 1/2. Okay, so to get it to standard form, I'm going to bring the 3/4 x to the other side by subtracting 3/4 x. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as negative 3/4 x plus y is equal to 1/2. Okay, now we've got a lot going on here. We have some fractions and we also have a negative in the front there. So I'm going to look at my fractions, 3/4 and 1/2. The lowest common denominator would be 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by, not just 4, I'm going to do it in one step, and I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 4. When I do that, I'm also going to get rid of that negative leading coefficient. So negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3, so we end up with 3x. Negative 4 times y is negative 4y, and then negative 4 times 1/2 is negative 2. Okay, so we just gave you an example with some fractions. All right, so looking through your notes here, it says write an equation in point-slope form. Okay, so this one says point-slope form, so I'm going to write in here y minus y of 1 is equal to m times x minus x of 1. Okay, pay close attention to the directions. All right, equation of the line in point-slope form, if the line passes through this point and has a slope of 2. Okay, well, I can go directly to point-slope form just by saying y minus a negative 3 is y plus 3 is equal to my slope times x minus 4, and I'm done. Okay, number 2, write an equation again in point-slope form of the line that passes through the point negative 1, 4 and has a slope of negative 2. So I'm going to use this point and this slope. So this would be y minus 4 is equal to negative 2 times x plus 1, and I'm done. All right, now we're trying to graph. So it says graph the equation y plus 2 equals 2/3 x minus 3. Well, you might look at this and say, hey, this is already in point-slope form. Y minus y of 1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, from here I can pull out the slope. The slope is just going to be the 2/3, what's right before the parentheses. In my ordered pair, my point, my x1 would be, this is x minus 3, so my x1 would just be positive 3. And then my y1, because I'm subtracting and getting a plus 2, would actually be a negative 2. So I can graph this just by starting at the point 3, negative 2. So 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 2. And then a slope of 2/3. So my rise is 2, my run is 3. So I'm off the graph on this side. But if I go down 2 and to the left 3, there we go. All right, so I can actually graph it straight from that. All right, the other option would be to actually put it into slope-intercept form, which you can do by distributing. So y plus 2, okay, is equal to 2/3 x minus 6/3, so minus 2. Okay, so y is going to be equal to 2/3 x. When we subtract 2 from both sides, minus 4. So let's see, do we cross at negative 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there's our y-intercept. And then our slope is 2/3. So see how we get the same line? Doesn't matter which way you do it. Okay, but I like to recognize if, again, this is in point slope form, I'm going to pull out my slope being negative 1, and my point, my x is positive 2, and my y is positive 1. So if I start at 2, 1, and a negative slope, negative go down 1 and over, or up 1 to the left, okay, I can actually make my line. All right, so let's look now at number 5. It says write an equation. This time we're writing it in point slope form. We already have the graph. We want to write the equation. So we need to figure out the slope. So we've got 2 points identified for us. So let's figure out the slope. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise is 4. My run is 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. Okay, because we're going to the left. So my slope is negative 1. My point, I have 2 points here that are identified for me. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I've got 1 as 3, negative 2. And so if I use that point at 1, 2, 3, negative 2, it would be point slope form would be y plus 2 is equal to negative 1 times x minus 3. Okay? Or if I use the other point, which is at negative 1, 2, the equation of the line would be y minus 2 is equal to negative 1 times x plus 1. Okay, so either way is fine. All right, why don't you guys try number 6? You can pause the video and try it. Okay, and then continue. Your slope is going to be rise 1, 1, 2, 3, run 3. So your slope is 1/3. Your 2 points, the first one let's look at is this one right here. So we've got a 0, 1. Okay, so point slope form would be y minus 1 is equal to 1/3 times x minus 0. Okay, so that would be at 0, 1. The other point that we have would be at 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. So this one would be y minus 2 is equal to 1/3 times x minus 3. And then we stop because we needed to write it again in point slope form. All right, so 7, 8, 9, we're just going to move from point slope form to slope intercept form to standard form. So to do that, we start out and we distribute. So y minus, again, well, slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Let's write this up top. And standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. Okay, so slope intercept form, we distribute. We did this last unit. 3x minus 3. Then we add 5 to both sides. I'm going to run out of space here, but y is going to be equal to 3x plus 2. Okay, now to get to standard form, I'm going to subtract my 3x from both sides, so I have negative 3x plus y is equal to 2. And to get rid of that leading negative coefficient, I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1. So I end up with 3x minus y equals negative 2. We got it in standard form. Okay, number 8, I'm going to distribute. Y plus 3 is equal to negative 2x plus 4. And then when I subtract 3, I get y is equal to negative 2x, subtract 3, okay, negative 2x plus 1. To go to standard form, I'm going to add my 2x, add 2x to both sides. I end up with 2x plus y equals 1, and I'm finished. Okay, I'm already in standard form. I don't have an issue with a negative leading coefficient. Okay, so let's look at number 9. If you want, you can pause the video and try it yourself. But I'm going to distribute y minus 1 equals 3x plus 18. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Y is going to be equal to 3x plus 19. So there's my slope-intercept form. Now to get to standard form, I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Negative 3x plus y is equal to 19. But I have a negative leading coefficient, so I'm going to multiply every term by negative 1. So 3x minus y equals negative 19. Okay. All right, so looking at number 10, 11, and 12, we're going to graph the following equations. So again, we can identify the slope as negative 1. If you notice, these are in point slope form again. All right, so our point or our ordered pair is going to be, our x is going to be negative 2 and our y is negative 4. So we're going to graph negative 2, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and our slope is negative 1. So we're going to go down 1 over or go like this. Okay, so there's our line. Okay, here our slope is 3/4 and our ordered pair is negative 1, positive 1. So we're going to start at the ordered pair negative 1, positive 1, and our slope is 3/4. So rise 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our point. Or we can go down 3 to the left 4. Okay. All right, and then number 12, our slope is negative 5/2, and our point is going to be 3, negative 4. So we've got positive 3, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going to start right there. Okay, whoops, let me get rid of that little weird line. Okay, so 3, negative 4, and our slope is negative 5/2, so I'm going to go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to the left 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 2. So it's going to look something like this. Okay. All right, so 13, 14, 15, write an equation in standard form. So standard form, ax plus by equals c of the line that passes through the point and has a given slope. So when you have point and slope, you've got to start with your point slope form. So this is going to be y minus 1 equals 1/4 times x minus 1. We then distribute. I like to get it to slope-intercept form. So we distribute 1/4 x minus 1/4. And we add 1 to both sides. When we add 1, we're actually adding 4/4. So this would become y is equal to 1/4 x plus 3/4. Now I'm going to subtract 1/4 x from both sides. So I get negative 1/4 x plus y equals 3/4. And I want to get rid of my fractions and the negative, so I am going to multiply both sides by negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 1/4 x plus 4y is equal to negative 4 times 3/4. So in final form, we're going to get x minus 4y is equal to negative 12/4, which is negative 3. All right, you can try 14. Okay, y minus 0 equals negative 1/2 times x minus 6. So y is going to be equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1/2 times negative 1/2 times negative 6 is 6/2, which is 3. Bring the 1/2 x to the other side. I get 1/2 x plus y equals 3. Now I'm going to multiply every term by 2 to get rid of that fraction. So I end up with x plus 2y is equal to 6. Okay, and then number 15, point slope form, y minus 1 equals 1 times x plus 2. All right, we distribute y minus 1 equals x plus 2. And we'll add 1 to both sides. So when we add 1, we get y is equal to x plus 3. Bring the x to the other side to get it to standard form. Negative x plus y is equal to 3. Now we're going to multiply everything by negative 1. X minus y equals negative 3. Okay, so the last three we have, using point slope formula, write your answer in slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. Okay, first thing we need to do is get the slope. So slope is 3 minus a negative 7, 3 plus 7, divided by 1 plus 1. So we got 10/2, which is 5. Now I can use point slope form. Y minus 3 equals 5 times x minus 1. And we distribute 5x minus 5. Add 3 to both sides. And y is going to be equal to 5x minus 2. Okay, so you can go ahead and try 17 and 18 and then compare it to the key. All right, I want to just finish up and get the time in. The last few are again our review. So we want to figure out the slope is 1/3. The point is going to be -1, -2. So we start at -1, -2. Our slope is 1/3, rise 1 over 3. Okay, rise 1 over 3. Okay, so our line would look like that. Okay, so you can go ahead and try 20 and 21 on your own, and please compare it with the key that is on the class website for day 32A. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.